What is going on, guys? Greggles TV. I want to talk to you about my favorite true wireless earbuds that I've tried for 2019. I've tried a bunch, I reviewed a bunch, and I have my 3 favorites for different reasons. Let's jump into this. All right, the first ones on our list are the Mpow true wireless earbuds. These things sound amazing, guys, especially for 50 bucks. They totally compete with other earbuds I've heard that are more expensive, such as the Galaxy Buds as well. These definitely sound-wise compete with those, and I feel like even sound better in some circumstances. The bass is awesome. The clarity is awesome. Just overall usage of these is awesome. They work on iOS. They also work on Android. So all the buds I'm going to show you, just in case I forget to tell you, all 3 of these work with iOS and Android. So don't worry about, just because these are not, branded towards Apple or Android, they work with both. They're Bluetooth earbuds work with all of them. Also, battery life is really, really good, up to 4 hours, just using these walking around, or more, it depends how loud you use them. Also, the case is gonna give you up to 30 hours of usage. It does use micro USB, kind of a pain in the butt. It does have LED lights on the front here to let you know how much battery life is in the case. You have 4 LED lights to let you know it's fully charged. 1 will let you know it needs to, get charged up. They're comfortable in your ears. They don't feel like they're gonna fall out. I can't recommend these ones enough, especially if you're on a budget. Obviously, you're not gonna get the cool factor of saying you have, Galaxy Buds or AirPods or something like that, but don't fret. If you don't care about that kind of stuff, you'll love these. Another thing to keep in mind when you talk on the phone with these, it does pick up some of that outside noise around where you are. So they might complain about, oh, I hear a car, it's kind of screeching in my ears. But otherwise, if you're just using these for music, I think you're gonna absolutely love them. Another thing to keep in mind is this case does not wirelessly charge. Next up, we have the Samsung Galaxy Buds. These go for 130 bucks, and these do wirelessly charge in terms of the case. You can put this case on a wireless charger, charges them up. Also, they charge via USB-C, which I love. Everything I have is USB-C, so I absolutely love that. Battery life, again, very, very solid. You're gonna get kind of similar battery life to what you would get on the Mpows in terms of the buds themselves, 4 to 5 hours. The case itself, 20 to 25 hours, somewhere in that range. But regardless, sound very, very good, especially if you use the largest ear tips. I cannot recommend enough, use the largest ear tips on these, otherwise they don't sound so good. If you put the smallest ones, or the smallest ones sound the worst in terms of like the bass is really hollow and lacking, and it lets in a lot of sound and all that. So just remember, to put the largest ones on there. Does have touch controls, which is kind of cool. It can get in the way too sometimes if you accidentally swipe with your finger in terms of accidentally touching yourself. It's your ear or something. It's gonna play pause your music or skip a track or do something like that. It's very sensitive, but it works really, really well. Also, if you download the app, which you probably will, especially if you're on Android, it's gonna be able to do updates on these. It's going to be able to change the functions of the buds themselves in terms of playing the track or increasing the volume or doing whatever you want these to customize the control of these earbuds. Talking on the phone is much better than the Mpows. It's not the best out of the 3 earbuds I'm gonna talk about, but it's very, very good. Since these do not have active noise cancellation, you do get some of that outside noise, especially when you're walking around like a busy street, or you're on a plane or something like that. And if you're listening, you don't notice it too much when you're listening to music, because music's just like full steam ahead. But if you're like listening to a podcast where there's some breaks, or you're talking on the phone especially, you're definitely gonna hear some of that outside noise, so it's gonna get in the way of maybe you hearing at its best. Again, Galaxy Buds, awesome earbuds. I can't recommend them enough. Especially if you have a Samsung phone, without a doubt, get these. But otherwise, they do work just as well on Android, and they do work on iOS as well. But if you're on iOS, you won't be able to update, like do software updates and control these, customize the control of these if you're on iOS. And the last on my list, and the best overall with everything, are the Apple AirPods Pros. They're also the most expensive at $250 bucks, and a lot of people are probably going to already have these. They're going to be a hot seller even though they're really expensive. Now the Pro ones do sound better and automatically come with a wireless charging case than the regular AirPods. Another thing to keep in mind is these, even though these are Apple, they do work with Android, but one thing that happens every so often, for some reason, I don't know if it happens to everybody, but definitely happens to me, and I've tried this on multiple phones, is when I put these in my ears with my Android phone, not my Apple phone, but my Android phone, sometimes only a sound will come out of one earbud, so I kind of need to take them out of my ears and then put them back in, and eventually both will reconnect and work. But otherwise, these sound the absolute best out of the three buds, just in terms of everything. The bass is the best. The has active noise cancellation, so it blocks out a lot of that outside noise. So if you're talking on the phone or you're listening to music or a podcast, these sound amazing. It blocks that noise out for the most part, or at least deafens it. The bass is amazing. The clarity is amazing. Just, I can't recommend these enough in terms of sound and talking on the phone. People on you, when you're talking on the phone, hear you really, really well. I love these earbuds. That one thing about them with the Android phone where they kind of have to like take them out sometimes and not reconnect them, but get them to go, so as long as both of them are in my ears. That's the thing. But otherwise, it's cool. You can control these by pressing on the stems to play, pause the tracks, and go through the tracks. Also, a thing to keep in mind is, since they are Apple earphones, you will not be able to do the firmware updates unless you have them connected to either an iPad or an iPhone. So if you want to do those updates for these, you will have to connect those to that. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it on your Android phone. So there you guys go. Those are my 3 favorite true wireless buds that I have personally tried in 2019, and I can wholeheartedly recommend all 3 of these for those different reasons that I went through. Let me know what your favorite is in this list, or if you have a different one, let us know as well. Thanks for watching, and if you want to pick up any of these, they're also listed in the description. We'll see you guys down the road. Peace!